SpeedGaming. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be, and welcome to another exciting race of the summer 2024 No Logic tournament. My name is JD Silvergun, and I'm joined on tracking by Phoenix. Thank you very much for that. And so today we have an exciting round 5 race with So versus krithel. And krithel has already won the previous match, or previous race rather, so So is going to have to win this to tie it up and take it to game 3. And looks like we're getting started. So just a Meyer Small. Well, for anyone that does not know what No Logic is, it is a mode where the items are placed completely at random with no regards to accessibility, and we are allowed to use major glitches to complete the seed, with only a couple exceptions. And we are already seeing glitches. Both runners are doing boots clips to set up a fake flipper and check the man under the bridge, which is a heart container. This is a very common opener that we see in this mode. So if you look on So's screen, he already did it so quickly. Just by doing a couple inputs quickly, we can clip through things while swimming, and that's how we get into Ice Rod Cave. So just arrows in the chest, not anything helpful yet, but these checks are nice to get out of the way because in case there is something useful, it is very easy to just never come here the later it gets into a seed. A heart piece in the waterfall with the Hyrule Castle small. Another good reason to come here early is you don't have to worry about the heart refill ruining your water walk. And we see a first bottle of the seed on Zora Ledge, and krithel is clipping to get it. So krithel is doing it the old way, and it looks like krithel might, or it looks like So, pardon me. Yeah, no, it's one of the newer ways to jump directly over the fence and get the bottle. So that was very nicely done. So already saving time. Sword in the Sanctuary is very nice. But anyways, the significance of the bottle in this mode is far more than in any other mode, because some of the most versatile glitches we can do in dungeons are using a potion. And I'm sure we'll see that a bit more later on. So getting Divergence with krithel going to Sahasrahla, and So is going to the Lost Woods. And we see that our green pendant today is Thieves Town, which is kind of a bummer. Thieves Town is one of the dungeons that's easier to do without the items that you're supposed to have. And we see a mirror in the back, so that's a good find for krithel. The mirror is helpful both for its intended purpose and the glitching purposes as well. We have arrows for one of the tree poles. That could be... well, it could be any of the tiers, honestly, because when you're on a screen with Octoroks, the exploding rocks can count as an enemy kill for whatever reason. So I don't know what tier the arrows are. Oh, looks like there was nothing on the lumberjack. Alright, So is doing a DMA or Death Mountain Ascent. It's the Lumberjack DMA. And yeah, this getting back in bounds is a little bit particular. There are only like a couple pixels or so that work for that. He wasn't just splashing in the water for fun. Alright, and so, already getting the old hover warmed up. Both of these runners are hoverers, just to mention that. Krithel also checking the Lumberjack. Oh, okay, it was a map. Okay, well, not essential, certainly, but we do like information. Since this is a key sanity mode, we don't know the prize info by default. Krithel getting inbounds more quickly. Alright, so is rescuing the old man, and Krithel decides to leave the 300 for now. Like, that kind of thing, you could always grab it later when you're on the way to pod, because we used that same cave to clip to Palace of Darkness. And so is doing a DMD, or Death Mountain Descent, to check the graveyard ledge. And also it gives us a nice early bomb farm. And it looks like So is going to take advantage of that and stock up a few more bombs. And Krithel getting some interesting Deadrock RNG. Okay, I missed it on So's side first time, but we see that the Quake medallion is on the old man. And So is able to Houlihan just because the camera is broken when we descend the mountain in an unintended fashion. The game doesn't expect you to do it. Alright, So is checking the dam. Just bombs, a vanilla chest. Alright, So is not even going for the anti-fairy skip, decides to dash down the middle. Krithel also following behind with the Houlihan. Vanilla Piece of Heart as well for the sunken treasure. So we are going to go to Mini Moldorm Cave. So delaying going to town in glitched modes is a somewhat common thing, just because we have so many places we can go without items. And the reason why you would want to delay that is to have items to hopefully full clear it with. Like, well, they have the ball, but they might hold out for powder or flute a little longer. Ice Rod in Mini Moldorm Cave. And another sword already. And So is setting up a door juke. This is a glitch that will allow us to get to King's Tomb from here. So to turn a 5-item cave into a 6-item cave. This is a common shortcut that we do. So also it is worth mentioning, because I did not say it earlier, that this is a double rods preset. Oh. Krithel taking an unfortunate death to the Moldorms. Or no, never mind, we have a fairy in a bottle. We're not taking a death at all. False alarm. I already forgot about that. Alright, and So is going to the upgrade fairy, which is a somewhat common thing to do in this mode. Because a lot of glitches require bombs and arrows if we actually have a bow. I'm pretty optimistic to buy the arrow upgrade if you ask me, but some people are, you know, they just are optimistic, so nothing wrong with that. even quit to the mountain. Okay, and the audio cue on Krithel's side confirms that it was only rupees in the King's Tomb item. I don't remember if So actually looked at it on screen, but regardless, we know. Alright, to both runners into Hera. This is one of the most common clips we do in overworld glitches. It's a very convenient screen wrap that just places us right next to the door on top of the mountain. Alright, so it's getting a little more splashy. It happens to the best of us. Krithel also splashing. I don't know, maybe that's just a fast way to check the item. Never thought about that. Walking around, it seems slower. Alright, Spiral Cave is a bow, so it's immediately rewarded for buying arrows on So's side. I was not expecting that. Krithel, the mirror. Let's see if he remembers to go to the middle door in Paradox. Because So, not having gone to Sasrala, does not have the mirror. So Krithel's able to take a little shortcut. Our second bottle already, with preloaded with a blue potion. As I said before, bottles are very significant for glitching items. And once we start actually doing dungeons or other things, I'm sure we'll see that being put to use. Small key to desert is nice. Small key to swamp also is potentially very nice if we have other equipment to get there. Alright, I think this is the town play for Krithel. And I'm not sure where So is going. Oh, So is going into the Dark World. So a common play people will do in this mode is if you have a blue potion, is that this is an overworld YBA, or use Uehara's Bottle Adventure. If you drink a potion on the same frame as transitioning, a variety of effects can happen, and in this case, it allows us to use the flute menu in the Dark World. So is going to check Hype Cave, and conveniently this also gives us Super Bunny, which will allow us to get a Link State. And Krithel finds the Ether Medallion in Blind's hideout. Didn't see anything else of note there. Okay, so Hype Cave for So is bombs. Fire Rod, that looks important. Small key to Ganon's Tower, very much not important. Okay, so sorry, excuse me. It's just, it's worth mentioning that the only two things that are actually required to beat the game are the Master Sword or better and a fire source for Ganon. And So has both of those things now. Krithel gets the Cane of Samaria in the well, which is a very helpful item. Probably the most overpowered item in the game by itself. And it even can be used with other items to make other glitches easier as well. See a glove in the chicken hut. And so did talk to the bomb shop guy as a bunny and found out that Eastern was a crystal, but I did not see what the other one was. Alright, so stocking up on potions. Krithel is still clearing out town. So, setting up a fake flipper. Krithel gets a small key to Skullwoods. One of any small key is usually nice to have. Alright, so setting up a different swim clip. This will let him get back of escape without a glove. If he succeeds at it. It is slightly particular. Krithel gets a small key to Castle Tower on the race game. And so either was too low or just had a bad input at the end there. I'm not sure what went wrong. I prefer the higher approach. There's a couple different ways you can do that clip. Alright, so it's going into town now. Krithel is going to check out Agina's cave. Okay, just arrows. Alright, a nice little spin speed clip, and we can easily check K45 as well. Half Magic is a very good find. A nice safety. Then another clip jump, and we can go to checkerboard as well. Combos. Okay, so we now have all 3 medallions, which is pretty fortunate for our runners if Meyer is a crystal. The medallions, of course, are not required, but it makes it a lot easier. Or less time consuming at the very least. And Krithel's routing of doing the overworld before going into the dungeon suggests that he may be planning to do a glitch to go to another dungeon that will take him somewhere else in the world, which would not give him a chance to do those checks afterwards. But I could be wrong. We'll see what he's thinking. So has also been cleaning out town and got his Samaria and his glove as well. And the Ether Medallion. Krithel in desert so far. Not finding anything from the looks of it. Alright, so Krithel is taking intentional damage. This is telling me that he's going to do a glitch called Death Hole, which involves dying while falling into a pit. It abuses the JP 1.0 mechanic of being able to take damage while falling. Well, the result of which, in this case, is that we can transition into the Argus boss fight, and I have to say, it is a shame that we're doing this, but not having flooded the dam, because we have Swamp Small, and you can use Samaria to flood the dam from the Agina cave. So what this means is that Krithel is going to fight the Argus boss, but the game thinks we're in desert, so we will not get the swamp prize from this boss fight. And if we had... Well, I suppose Krithel doesn't have flippers, so it would still be annoying, but... Okay, never mind, we're just going to take a death. That is very unfortunate. Let's see if he decides to do it again. Oh, the glitch, there is a glitch to skip flippers, which is why I was thinking maybe if you're doing this play with the Swamp Small, it would be good to have it flooded. It's quite a difficult trick, but I'm pretty sure Krithel knows how to do it. But either way, we can still fight the boss if we want to. Alright, so in case you missed it the first time, that was the glitch called Death Hole Argus. Well, unfortunately we have to navigate. Like, there are some invisible holes. Okay, meanwhile, So has defeated Landmo, by the way. I was just so concerned about what was happening with Krithel. Oh, and we find out the desert is, in fact, a crystal. Alright, so Krithel was able to get the boss off camera, which lets us skip the first phase of the fight. We also has done a potion glitch, a YBA, to get to Thieves Town. Or, no, never mind, he used a Samaria glitch, I'm sorry. I can tell because how the pegs are. I was just so concerned for Krithel because he was low on health for a second there. But nonetheless, so Krithel has defeated Argus, but still, we don't know if Swamp is a crystal or not, and we're just leaving. Alright, so did actually a Samaria glitch. I was wrong to get to the Thieves Town attic and open the floor, got the item, and then stole the key. So has 3 desert small keys, and I'm curious what he plans to do with them. Right, Krithel, checking the back of escape. A TR big key could be very helpful. Alright, this is a bomb juke, but it's different than the one we saw earlier. This is the East auto door bomb juke. Just a little bit trickier. And So is doing an East Samaria. This is not a juke, but it looks kind of similar. Similar to the North Samaria that he did before, this will allow us to take some transitions that will lead us to a different place than they normally take us. So Krithel, I'm assuming the pyramid item was nothing, because he just left. I did not actually see what it was. But Krithel is abusing the fake world mechanic. Since we didn't use a portal to get to the dark world, the game still thought we were in the light world, and taking a screen transition will take us from the fake dark world to the real light world. Complicated, but that's how the vanilla game actually works. And we see that the Eastern Palace big key is in the Uncle secret passage. And so Krithel going for Dark Cross. With the mirror, this is not horrible. Okay, so picking up his half magic. Hey, big key to Tower of Hera is in Dark Cross, which is kind of amusing because we can actually get to that location quickly from Hera if we want to. And that is kind of one of the better big keys to have for several reasons, but in this case, just not having the hookshot allows us a convenient way to do the dungeon. Like, there are other ways to unlock the door, but we would prefer to not have to do that. So krithel gets the small key to Hera as well in Castle Tower, which could be potentially useful for opening Swamp. The common route is to open it from the inside by clipping from Hera. So gets his TR big key in the back of Escape. 10 arrows in the second Castle Tower check for krithel. And so also deciding to do the bomb juke. You know, this is, to me, this makes sense for So, but krithel having the mirror, there was a way he could have combined the Pyramid Fairy with these checks. And also check the Pyramid Ledge with doing the Hyrule Castle checks. So, he's not really pushing the mirror advantage. I mean, he doesn't know that it's an advantage, but it is interesting. Okay, so also getting the Eastern Palace big key, the Uncle area. krithel doing Hyrule Castle. So a reason that we like to come here, well, I shouldn't say we like to come here, but we will come here if we have to. And the reason is because the Hyrule Castle big key that drops from the Ball and Chain Guard is a key that works when we are in Cave State. There are other keys that work in Cave State, but our runners have not been able to find one yet. And I'll talk about the significance of that more when we see it being used. krithel saving and quitting to the mountain. This probably is immediately a play for Palace of Darkness. Or it could be Hera, since he has the big key, you know. And So did not go to Dark Cross, and may never go to Dark Cross, so this could be some interesting divergence. Because a common route would be to go to Thieves Town after the castle, but krithel knows that Thieves Town is Green Pendant, so he's not going there right now. So it'll be interesting to see what So decides to do, if he just saves and quits, or if he wants to do something else from here. krithel climbing Hera. Alright, So is damaging down, so he may go for Dark Cross, or he may go for Thieves Town via the Uncle Passage. So krithel finds the cape, by the way. That's a good safety item. Alright, into the Moldorm fight. 3 spins to win with the Master Sword. Alright, and So is setting up a YBA to go to Thieves Town. Okay, the map of Pod is on Moldorm, and Hera is a pendant. So it looks like So's main advantage right now is having a fire source. However, that could lead him astray into a pendant TR, potentially. But there are seeds where Fire Rod is not needed, but we do need a fire source for Ganon, though. Alright, now krithel is going for the hover that we saw So do earlier. Gets the 300. Alright, so both of our runners are going to be doing dungeons in Cave State. So already is in Thieves Town, but because we did not enter through the front door, the game thinks that we are in a cave still. So that's the significance of having the Cave State big key. He needed it to open the doors in the prison. And small key doors we can just open already, regardless. And so krithel did a bomb clip called Kiki Skip to get into Palace of Darkness, also in Cave State. And immediately gets a sword for his trouble. TR Small is on blind. But also so did a glitch called LSD Blind to keep the door open, and that allows us to conveniently leave and re-enter the dungeon so we can collect the prize. So getting the green pendant here will probably lead him to Sahasrara. So at the very least he'll be able to full clear that. If Sahasrara has a good item, like that will be an advantage. And having the bow and the Eastern Palace big key could actually do the whole area as well. But may decide to leave when he gets the mirror. Because krithel is going to be able to do Eastern and Pod together. And he also has the Pod map, so he'll be able to decide if he wants to do the boss or not, like with more information. Okay, Big Key of Pod is in Pod, that is classic. So Hyrule Castle skippers are bailed out, and they can get a Cave State Big Key anyway coming here. Hammer also in Pod, okay. And so gets the green pendant. Well, the Hammer Glove combo makes Ice Palace a very convenient dungeon to clear. We don't have to do any glitches, like apart from just getting inside the dungeon. Krithel also finds the Cane of Burna in Pod. Alright, krithel is hovering to the right side. This is some kind of clip, and I guess if you pop out, it means you weren't on the right pixel. This is turning into a very long hover. The unfortunate takes a fall. Alright, so has restocked on potions. Doing a clip to get to Sahasrara without going all the way around. krithel gets a compass for his trouble, and a piece of heart. So just a blue rupee on Sahasrara, very unfortunate for So. But he will be getting the mirror. And it looks like So is deciding to go to Eastern the normal way, instead of trying to combo with Pod, and we see on krithel's screen that the map is confirming that Pod is actually a pendant in this seed, so he decides to leave upon that realization. And now both of us are in Eastern. Alright, so krithel going for the bomb juke right away. But this is a shortcut to get the big key chests. And it looked like So skipped an item. Or skipped a couple items. I'm not sure what his routing was. Or that he had in mind, rather. Maybe he did get that chest, and I just didn't see him get it. But so that is our second fire rod, which is fortunate for krithel. Krithel is probably going to be thinking about go mode if he's not already. Yeah. So he also abandoned the checking the right side. And krithel has more information than So. Krithel actually has full information because he cleared Hera to get the pendant. They talked to Sahasrara earlier and got the map also by clearing Hera. The map of Pod, I mean. Alright, so did a YBA to get to Meyer from Eastern. And now he gets to do this fun fight in the broken camera room. This is the vanilla speedrun strat does not work when your camera is messed up. So is hovering across the bridge, which is very nice, by the way, but it also shows that he's not really concerned about checking too many items. He just wants to go straight to the boss. And we know that both of these dungeons have crystals. Alright, so krithel gets the crystal from Eastern Palace. And So is doing it this way because he wanted to use the Eastern Palace big key to open the door to Vitreous, because we don't have the Meyer big key. And as far as the game is concerned, So is still inside Eastern. krithel doing a clip to get to the potion shop. So is navigating in the dark. Alright, double greens for krithel. Wonder where we're going next. Looks like krithel also is thinking about Meyer via Eastern. Although, if this is the route you're doing, it's a little unfortunate that he picked up the crystal, though. Because, So is going to get the Eastern Palace crystal off of this boss kill if he's successful. And that crystal will warp him actually to the front of Meyer, not Eastern. So he'll be able to open it and go back in. And then, presumably, he will clip to Hera and get the Meyer crystal from there. Alright, So really wants to go on the right side, not the left side. The left side is not safe if you're doing this strategy. Okay. We should be safe now. That was a little anxiety-inducing on So's side, but does manage to defeat Vitreous. Get the Compass of Thieves down for our trouble, and Crystal for Eastern. But I should also mention that as per the rules of the tournament, Having the crystals alone is not enough. We must defeat every crystal boss as well. But this means So is going to have to go back for Armos Knights at some point before the race is over. If he's going to win the race, that is. Okay, we see a much faster regular clear of the Mire 2. Krithel making good use of the invincibility items to speed up the darkroom navigation. That spike can be pretty annoying, in my experience. Alright, so this is the room that we use to clip to Hera from Mire. And for anyone that may possibly be wondering, we have to clip on the left side because we did not move the wall. Krithel having a much easier fight with the cape. But he does not have enough arrows for the big eye, though. So he's going to do some spins, or one spin. Alright, so is successfully done. Dash Citrus. And now we are in Hera. He thought about going to get the item the one floor below, but changed his mind. Alright, Krithel has defeated Vitreous. And so taking an unfortunate fall from Moldorm. Alright, Krithel is going into the well, and the well is one of our ways of accessing Ice Palace in this mode. So Krithel is doing something called a Bomb Snap, and this allows us to use our Y items well indoors. And so we do a YBA, and now we're in Cave State Ice Palace. So we're going to quickly leave and reset the dungeon. And So has defeated Moldorm, but has acquired the Mire Crystal, and already defeated Vitreous, so Mire is completely done for So. And So also did not check Dark Cross, so he does not have the Hera Big Key, which is interesting because if he goes back to check the Hera prize, it's going to waste time because we know it's a pendant. Alright, so Krithel clipped through a wall in Ice Palace, and So is trying to set up a glitch called Stairmaster. And this route makes a lot of sense because already has the Eastern Crystal. So it just needs to get the boss kill, and this takes us very close to the boss. Stocking up on some arrows. Alright, Krithel gets the map of Skullwoods, but we already know that it's a crystal, or at least Krithel knows. So does not have full info because he doesn't know about Hera. Actually, he doesn't know about Hera or Pod, actually, pardon me, because the map to Pod was... Well, I guess he just has to check his map in the Dark World because he has the Pod map now, because it was on Moldorm. Okay, krithel about to go into the cold stair fight, and so has defeated the Armos Knights. And so Eastern is now completely done for both runners. But krithel is going to have to go back to get the Maya Crystal at some point. But he has the Argus boss kill over so. And we see that the mushroom is on cold stair. Alright, so is going shopping. Alright, where is krithel going now? I'd imagine we're putting off TR until last because we can Samaria warp from the front of TR to Agatu. This is looking like a Skullwoods play for krithel. And so is going to Palace of Darkness via Spectacle Rock Cave. Alright, so krithel is not having the Moon Pearl because nobody found it. We are going to have to do some citrus clipping to DMD, descend the mountain. Alright, so is deciding to check this chest and gets rewarded with his effort with a tempered sword. Alright, krithel was successful at clipping off the mountain, so we just need to take a death warp inside Skullwoods. This will give us fake Dark World. And to address a question in chat, So knows how to do the fake clippers. He did it in his previous match against Duden. Oh wait, maybe So does not have the pod map. Or no, he does. Never mind. I'm just blind. Alright, so So did a quadrant glitch. And the purpose of this is to take us to Hookshot Cave. Because of the unique layout of the pod rooms, we don't have to take any east-west transitions until we get to the door that is useful to us. Alright, krithel into the back of Skullwoods. It should be a very straightforward fight. This is like more health than we have in vanilla, I think. Well, definitely it is for AD. Okay, very nice. Alright, and So has shown us that with our broken quadrants, we can go to Hookshot Cave just by going through that door. Ah, he was using this to go to TR. That's interesting. Okay. Okay, at this, North Samaria will write the data from the lava chest, or vanilla big key chest, if you prefer, onto the big chest, and we also can open it as many times as we want, but we don't want to open it that many times in this case. And just 20 rupees in the big chest itself. That big key to Thieves Town would have been helpful earlier, as it is a cave state key as well. It's a little surprising that So is making this TR play. And we see our second Ice Rod in Crystal Roller Room. But maybe So did not see the Fire Rod in Eastern Palace, and he thinks that his Hype Cave Fire Rod is an advantage, and he's trying to push that advantage by coming here. I have to ask him about that. Or maybe if anyone saw if he opened the cannonball chest. Yeah, the Desert Spin Samaria is also kinda slow if you want to use that to get to TR. Unless you have the flute, then it is far less bad. Because you would have to go through stairs and a lot of rooms, and you have to clip into desert in the first place. But it is an option that people can do. But you need to also be aware that collecting the key and doing that glitch will delete the prize of desert. And you will have to get the desert prize from another super tile if you do that. At least that's how it was in older versions of the randomizer. I don't know if that has changed recently. So into the Trinex fight, having no issue with Tempered Sword. krithel going back to Meyer because he needs to get the crystal. Alright, just rupees on Trinex, which actually might be helpful with the amount of potions we're consuming in this seed. krithel is deciding to get Meyer Shed before going in. Or... oh no, we're getting Landmo. Okay, never mind. Alright, well this makes sense. I mean, we have to do it anyway. Alright, so krithel loading the next super tile over. This is to prevent VRAM corruption. So is going to the well. This is Ice Palace play. Alright, so krithel doing a spin YBA, which is a potion glitch with a sword spin release. Alright, krithel taking down Landmo. Tso's fighting penguins. Oh, the flippers were in that chest. That's a huge advantage if krithel didn't do that. I'm trying to remember if krithel actually did that check or not. It's very skippable. It's if you don't do the bomb strat, it's pretty slow. I'll try. If krithel ever menus again, I'll have to try to take a look at that. Not sure if he got that. I'll trust the tracker for now, though. The flippers makes the acquisition of the swamp crystals much easier. The krithel, on the other hand, already has defeated Argus, but will have to return to claim the crystal in one way or another. Oh, that was the skip that you were talking about. Okay, well, thank you for the help from chat. The krithel did not do that check. Yeah, if you do the 2-bomb strat, it's reliable and it's very quick. Like, I usually do it even if I'm in go mode as well. Unless it's like a super comfy go mode. But like in this case, there were a lot of items that could have helped krithel, like such as the flippers that were actually there. Moon Pearl, lamp, hookshot. I suppose Hookshot doesn't actually do that much by itself, unfortunately, but even Silver Arrows is still a net, you know, gain out on time, or net positive, however you want to word that. Alright, so krithel has claimed the Maya Crystal. So it just needs to get Swamp Crystal, try next boss kill, which will get him the crystal of TR. Alright, so not having the hammer from Pod has to do spin YBA to get to Cold Stare, and it was successful. And krithel is going shopping again. Fortunately, we have a lot of money in this seed. And so has defeated Cold Stare, gets the crystal to ice as well. krithel is setting up Splash Delete. So it's spamming the Samaria beams was to attempt to lower his index. I'm not sure if it was successful. So krithel wants to buy bombs and arrows, it looks like. So we're just going to go the long way around. There is a glitch called Fast Funny Auto Swim thing that, if you know how to do it, is faster than doing this. But it is also possible to soft lock if you don't know what you're doing. I actually don't remember the inputs myself. Okay, so we see that the map of TR was on the mushroom, which is pretty funny for so. krithel has restocked on bombs and arrows. Still has over 500 rupees despite all this big spending. Alright, krithel is going to the dam. This tells me that we're probably going into swamp from Hera. Because if we save and quit with this, you know, water moved the way that it is, the game remembers that. And the only way to break that is by doing overworld screen transition. Which we don't have to do. Okay, so is back in House of Darkness, Cave State. I wonder what we want to do here. This could be unlocking Hera if So still is uncertain about the prize info. And yeah, this is a YBA in the store will set up a wrong warp to Hera. And so we'll be able to unlock the door. But he might need to do this for Swamp if he doesn't know any other way to deal with it. So it's not, you know, it's not, even though Hera's a pendant, this might not be a big time loss. It is still a bit of a loss, but it might not be as bad as it could be. Okay, that hover was just showing off. You can literally bonk across that, or like literally walk around it. So is just always showing off these hovers. Alright, krithel having some index related issues. Normally the 3-arrow 2-bomb splash delete normally works, but you need to kind of need to know what your index is. If he had set the index high, then a 6-arrow 2-bomb setup would be guaranteed to work, but not knowing what your index is makes this difficult to do. It's unfortunate. If he still has the mushroom, he could have set a high index before coming here. Okay, well, we have 6 bombs left, so that means we have 3 tries to do it again. So that was the easy part. The hard part, we need to splash delete again now that we're actually in swamp. And once we do that, we need to clip through the wall. And how that is done is by correctly positioning on a certain Y pixel, and then we need to diagonal into the wall, but we need to also not move down. And the way you get into the wall is by doing single frame releases of down while still holding forward. So you're still generally diagonaling, but you have to release down for exactly 1 frame at a time. And after you do this about 5 or 6 times successfully, you can kind of just clip normally, quote unquote. And it looks like krithel has gotten past the difficult portion of the trick. So this part though, you don't want to rush this part, because this part really isn't that hard, but if you're in a hurry, it can be easy to take damage by mistake. We need to get downstairs because taking damage will splash us back to the door, but we have successfully made it downstairs, so we're good. From here, krithel is going to YBA back to Hera to collect the swamp crystal. Meanwhile, So is also thinking about swamp, flooding the dam, saving quitting. And to answer a question in chat, yes, No Logic is key sanity. The restricting key placement to a certain like dungeon would kind of be a form of logic, and there is no logic. But also, do we like it better that way anyway? For lots of reasons. So, of note, krithel used the Hera Small to unlock Swamp. That's an example of keys being relevant. So did this in Cave State, in which we had unlimited keys. Because that's just the way Cave State works for small key doors. Alright, krithel is doing something called Ledge Pog. I did not make the name, just saying. And so the purpose of that is by doing a fake powder and then interrupting the powder animation by screen transitioning. It sets a variable called the search index, and by interrupting it like that, it sets it to a high value. We like it to be 10 or higher for many glitches. And the reason why that's important is because krithel is going to set up an overworld conveyor, and the reason we have to do this is because we don't have the moon pearls to go to Turtle Rock normally. Okay, and he was successful with the bow setup, which was very nice, and he had to get that on the first try, because otherwise he would have had to set the index again. Which normally that's done with lamp, but we don't have the lamp, so that's why. So using this conveyor state, we can clip through things. For this particular clip, we have to be facing up, though, to carry the clipping state into the underworld, and yeah, this Lionel is a bit annoying. Yeah, this actually is kind of the hard part of the trick, is getting the clipping state while facing up. It's easy if you're facing left, but we need to be facing up because, well, you'll see why once he gets it. And krithel could scroll the screen to make the enemy go away, but taking some damage is fine because we have to Death Warp. Alright, So also claims the Swamp Crystal, but still has to defeat Argus, unless I missed that. But So did not have to do any Splash Deletes or Fake Clippers because he found the Flippers, so that was very nice for him. Alright, I think krithel is either not on the right spot or he's not getting a clean diagonal release. But this trick is very annoying. Okay, you got it. So now that we're facing up and clipping, this allows us to carry the conveyor state into the underworld. And the reason we have to do this is because bunnies cannot bomb open walls. So the conveyor state allows us to take a Death Warp inside the dungeon, which gives us fake Dark World, which gives us Link State. And Link State lets us use all our items, so we're in. And krithel, not having any TR smalls, is thinking to delete the door, but decides to look for items. And we get some money and a compass. And blue mail. Alright, so since there was no vanilla small key, we have to delete the door. Using this North Samaria, we'll write the open door flag from the bomb wall onto the key door in the room above. And we just mirror it to reset the dungeon, but the flag is still, like, preserved. The door is going to be open. And krithel is just taking a death to refill health, I'm assuming. Meanwhile, So is going to the back of Skullwoods. Alright, since we have Samaria and TR Big Key today, with just a nice easy ride to get to the boss. Unfortunate miss on that Ice Rod shot. I wonder if he was too close or if that was like a frame rule. That looked kind of weird. If you are standing too close, you can't Ice Rod things because of just the way the projectile is spawned far away from you. So I wonder if that was what happened. Alright, So has defeated Mothula. So I guess So was able to process of elimination his pendants, I guess. He did talk to the bomb shop earlier, so I'm not sure how he did it, but he figured out that he did not need to get the prize from Hera. And krithel defeating Trinex. So he now has done everything that he needs to do. We're going to take a quick warp from the front of Turtle Rock to Agatu, and then fight Ganon. And krithel favors the Boomer Warp, apparently, so this warp works from both rooms, but you just do it a little bit differently. So first we want to Quadrant Glitch by desyncing ourselves from the coordinate that we actually are in. It causes transitions to do things they don't normally do, like how So went to Hookshot Cave earlier. And then doing a North Samaria also changes what transitions do for us. So both of those things together will get us into this pit. and will be warped into the Agatsu fight. Okay, so is setting up the Deathwell Argus in Desert. Maybe not sure about which pixel he wants to stand on. There are at least 2 pixels that work for this. It's like possibly more than that. At least 2. Alright, krithel getting the Clipe out, but getting some far right movements from the bat is not able to actually skip the cutscene. So, trying to manipulate the boss to get him off camera, not successful. It is partially RNG. krithel into the Ganon fight. Should be a pretty straightforward affair with Tempered Sword. Even had the friendly RNG and close to the bottom there. Arrows in the Dark World. That could be a lot of things. Well, if you'd have gave us a Moon Pearl again, we might have found them. But no big deal, of course, just have to spin to win. 12 spins with Tempered Sword, very straightforward. Alright, krithel has defeated Ganon. Barring some unusual, unexpected fall. Should be able to finish this one out. Alright, and please get your GGs in chat for krithel, the official winner of today's race with an official time of 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 30 seconds. Alright, we will see about getting them. Alright, well, it looks like So is continuing on, not forfeiting, at least not at the moment. We are joined by krithel, the winner of today's race. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Hello.
So, how did you feel about that one?
That was a fun seed. That was, yeah, it was quite interesting. I think there was a lot of options in there, and I got to do a few fun things.
It was something kind of interesting that happened. So decided to use the blue potion to fake flute, and the fire rod that he has is not the one that you have. It was in Hype Cave, so we were wondering if that was going to be an advantage. And so I don't think actually checked anything in Eastern. It just went to Meyer. So I don't know if So knows that the other fire rod was available.
Yeah, that's interesting. Thankfully, because of the mirror, I actually probably end up getting that sooner rather than later, because I'm always going to want to well, Maya's on my mind quite early in this seed. I was considering like a really early Maya, in fact. I didn't end up doing it, but it was definitely on the table. In fact, it was when I came out from desert to swamp. When I did Argus, after that I could have mirrored and then gone and got myself a link state and done Hype Cave then. I was strongly considering it to see what the Maya medallion was and whether I could open it and potentially even do it at that point, but I decided it was really slow just to get the link state, so I decided not to, but the fake flute was on my mind of something I could do. Although, to be fair, by the time I was, doing like Pod Eastern, there was a few other dungeons I almost certainly would have hit before Maya found its way to the top of the list. And I don't think I go Hype Cave before I'm going Maya. So, thankfully, Eastern bailed me out.
I do agree that it is quite a walk from there to get the link state from the Stumpy item, so it's understandable. But we were discussing with like myself and chat a couple options you could have had to get being that you are good at fake clippers, you could have got the swamp crystal after the boss kill with a couple different ways, but was there any thought to that at all, or were you just like, no, I'll get it later, maybe I'll find something helpful to help me like do it faster?
I think I was too busy thinking about the possibility to do Maya to really think to clear Swamp. I mean, Swamp sucks in the same way Maya sucks. I still have to go out and get a potion and then come back, and then a Death's Door, I assume, is the setup for that, which is fine. But yeah, it definitely wasn't on my mind because I was too busy thinking around Maya at that point, and it wasn't until basically I was warping out that I made the call that I wasn't gonna go Maya then. Ooh.
It's understandable. Like, it's really hard to keep all this in your head and to have a plan for everything in the heat of a race, so I understand. Well, what I was thinking was, since I know that you can fake Clipper, and you did have the Swamp Small and also the Mirror to do a Mirror Door if you didn't have a potion on you, I was thinking maybe if you also know the Ugina Dam Flood, but Malmo in chat pointed out that Death's Door was also an option, so... I was just curious.
I would have Death's Door there, but I need a potion regardless, right, to actually do the dupe.
Well, you can Mirror Door to Hera.
Oh, there's no world I'm doing that mirror like that. I guess it would be faster than going and getting a potion, I'm pretty sure. I feel like I timed that at some point, but at that point, there's a good reason why I don't want to do that then.
Oh, okay. Well, so it was like... just because mirror doors are slow, is what you're saying?
No, I mean, I tend not to, like, I'm only mirror dooring if I feel like I need to. Mirror doors are very slow. Again, the reason I didn't do it was nothing to do with that. I didn't even think about it. I was too busy thinking about Maya. But if I had thought about it, pretty sure I got to the mirror door and noped out. Because there was so much else going on at that point that...
Oh, of course.
Don't feel like I particularly needed to.
Yeah, of course. I was just curious if there was any thought about that, but yeah, it makes sense.
The thing is, I didn't know Swamp. Items. I didn't know Swamp prize at that point. It's more reasonable if you know it's a crystal, but not knowing the prize is like mirror dooring to get a pendant would be. So I mean, I guess it's getting a map, but we got pendant.
No, that's a good point. So, you're right. It makes sense.
But this is all easier to work out afterwards. Anyway, GG.
Well, I was just going to say. Yes, we are joined by GG.
GG's.
GG.
Any thoughts on that one for you, So?
The seat was pretty nice. I was kind of trying to figure out if I was really in go mode so early in the game. I think my goal was like before my Desert Thieves loop, because of that Hype Cave play that I did with the blue potion. So when I figured out that I was indeed in goal, I was just trying to route the best that I could with the so little that I have. So I was thinking maybe I'll just open a few chests here and there just to try to get some quality of life. And lucky for me, I found lot of of things that made my life easier, like the flippers, tempered, and some other things. But I think I could have routed some things a little better, but in the heat of the moment, I just go for what comes on my mind and try to make the best out of it.
Yeah, it was interesting that you got the flippers in ice, but krithel skipped that check. But krithel had the hammer and pod, but you go moded pod, so you didn't get that. I mean, obviously the flippers are more helpful, but it was kind of interesting. You two had most of the same equipment in that.
Yeah, I was a big fan of finding the hammer there. Which chest were flippers in ice?
The penguiners, the first.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
I didn't want to. Yeah, I didn't want to do it, but when I was thinking, well, I had to tradition. We don't have the ice physics. I thought,
yeah.
why not?
You're in the
And
room.
yeah,
no ice
and then
physics. You
I
gotta
missed
go for it.
the
Except I didn't.
setup and took like 1,000 years to do the the room.
This is exactly why I didn't,
Yeah.
because I just knew I'd mess it up.
Yeah.
And I knew I'd be chasing pengators. I just thought, I'm in go mode. Let's keep on going.
Yeah, I think I figured out I was in Go when I was doing the thieves front after blind, and then when I went to the true the left side, I figured out that I was in Go, so I skipped the ambush chests and just okay, let's just combo everything and then just get a few chests here and there. But
Yeah, I did
was quite
somewhat the same.
Yeah, it was quite nice. We had temperate, have a lot of health, and some quality of life things were on the way.
Yeah, this
Where
was
was
a really fun
the
one.
second fire rod?
Eastern Cannonball Chest.
Oh yeah, I thought on doing the quadrant glitch, but since I had to skip so much things, I went, let's not do it.
Yeah, I mean, I did pod into Eastern. I mean, Fire Rod was my go mode, so I was just trying to efficiently clear dungeons, efficiently-ish. I was going to go into Maya next to clear that as well. I mean, I did end up going into Maya, but I just did the boss, because as soon as I found Fire Rod, I just decided, we've got tempered, we've got plenty of health, let's just pretty aggressively go mode. Especially because I spent quite a long time messing up Death Hole Argus earlier. I was just feeling like I needed to do everything I could.
Yeah, I think my goal mode was Samaria. I don't even remember what Samaria was, but I think that was my goal.
I was in the well.
Well, so it wasn't Samaria then, it was something else. Maybe is that something in Desert or Thieves? I'm pretty sure. But GG's to krithel. It was a lot of fun playing the tournament. I didn't expect getting so far because I knew to do some glitches, some major glitches because of some speedrunning that I did in the past. And Gabriel played the Mentor No Logic tournament, and he called me to play some seeds and to cast his races, and I thought, why not learn? It seems a lot of fun, and I'm having a blast playing No Logic these days. And just want to thank everyone that played and did the tournament happen. And see you in the next one, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, GG, congratulations. Round 5 is not, like anything to be... Yeah, you made it far. We're deep in the tournament right now, so very impressive showing. And thanks for playing. It's always nice to see people, join these tournaments. Since we are like the less popular mode, but yeah, thanks for playing. Really appreciate it. And with that, krithel will advance to round 6, and will be facing the winner of Mr. Buyer versus Chex Human. So that will be exciting as well. And speaking of which, we have the first race of that series is tonight at 9:30 Eastern. And we do not have a channel yet, but I'm sure we will, so stay tuned, everyone. It should be very exciting. And any other thoughts from you, krithel? And congratulations again on the win.
I think nothing else from me. GG again. So these races were an absolute blast. These were a really fun couple of races, and thank you, JD, for doing the hard work on the restream.
Well, fortunately, Phoenix not only helped set up the restream, but volunteered to track. I was going to do both, but thank you to Phoenix for helping out. We definitely appreciate that. Right, so like I said, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Chex Human versus Mr. Buyer. So with that, we will call it